The battle for my backyard. I stepped out of my front door one crisp October morning, expecting the usual hum of suburban life, kids on bikes, the faint buzz of a lawnmower. Instead, I was met with a surreal sight. A pair of mallards paddling lazily across my front lawn, now a shimmering, ankle-deep lake. A tacky plastic pelican floated near my mailbox, and a hand-painted sign bobbed past, declaring, "Maureen's Tranquility Lagoon, where peace begins." My name wasn't Maureen. This wasn't her property. As the county water inspector, I knew that no one had permission to turn my yard into a water park. Maureen, the self-anointed queen of our HOA, had just made my home her pet project, and I was about to make her regret it. The trouble started a month earlier at an HOA meeting. Maureen, with her polished smile and knack for control, unveiled her Green Oasis initiative, a plan to sprinkle eco-friendly charm across our neighborhood. It sounded noble: rain gardens, native plants, but her pitch was all buzzwords and no substance. No permits, no budget transparency, just a vague promise of serenity. As someone who signs off on water projects for a living, I smelled trouble. Maureen wasn't the type to beautify unless she could rule the results. The night before my yard became a swamp, I'd heard an odd rumble behind my house. Peering out with a flashlight, I spotted a fresh trench snaking from the HOA's irrigation system toward my property. Muddy tire tracks vanished into the dark. By dawn, my lawn was a bog. Frogs croaked under my porch, mosquitoes swarmed, and my rose bushes died. The local paper even ran a photo of Maureen's waterfront wonder, praising her for transforming unused space. Unused? It was my front yard. I confronted Maureen that afternoon. She was hosting a meditation session by the water, incense curling around her oversized sun hat. Sipping lemon-infused water, she blinked at my question like I'd spoken gibberish. "Why did you flood my yard?" I demanded. "Oh, Harold," she cooed, adjusting her sunglasses. "This lagoon is for everyone. Your yard was just destined for it. Nature chose you." Her smugness was infuriating, but when she added, "It's not illegal if it's for beauty," I knew I had her. She just admitted to rerouting irrigation water onto private property, a violation I could prove. I didn't yell. I didn't flash my badge. Instead, I got to work. For days, I documented everything: water levels, trench photos, thermal scans showing underground flow. Maureen had built a makeshift dam behind the HOA clubhouse, funneling water straight to my property. It wasn't just a pond, it was engineered flooding. Meanwhile, she turned my misery into a spectacle, hosting lagoon blessings and inviting kids to feed the ducks. The community ate it up, blind to the fact that her oasis sat atop a fiber optic junction. One short circuit could knock out power and internet for the entire neighborhood. A call from my buddy Frank at utilities confirmed my fears. Someone had tampered with the irrigation valve, hard-coding my address as the drainage point. Maureen wasn't just reckless, she was ruthless. She'd used HOA funds, unlicensed workers, and pure audacity to fuel her fantasy. When I found a stack of rocks on my porch with a note, "For your contribution to our ecosystem, I knew it was personal. I filed a report with the Environmental Compliance Office, anonymous but airtight, and waited. Maureen doubled down, decorating her lagoon with gnomes, fairy lights, and a gaudy crane statue. She planned a Sunset Shores gala, complete with wine and acoustic guitar, all on my property. I dug deeper, uncovering HOA schematics showing her trench crossed a storm drain and fiber lines. A big rain forecast for Saturday could flood the neighborhood. I printed flyers titled, "Did you approve this lagoon?" listing her violations, no permits, utility risks, and potential $60,000 in fines. At midnight, I slipped them into every mailbox. By morning, the neighborhood was abuzz. My flyer hit Reddit's r/entitled people, going viral with comments calling Maureen Swamp Queen. She raged, accusing me of slander, but her charm was cracking. At her emergency HOA meeting, she strummed up a guitarist and waxed poetic about community wellness. I arrived late, badge on, carrying a folder thick with evidence. As she rambled, I stepped forward and laid it out. Satellite images proving the lagoon was on my land, photos of her illegal trench, emails showing she'd misused HOA funds. I cited environmental codes, flood risks, and nitrate contamination. The crowd went silent. Maureen stammered, but her excuses drowned in the truth. Retaliation came fast. Mud was dumped on my driveway, and my mailbox was sawed down. Maureen posted online, painting me as a bitter bureaucrat. But a tip from an HOA worker sealed her fate. Photos of her trench slicing through a utility box. I sent everything to the state environmental protection, utilities oversight, and even the Attorney General. Within days, investigators swarmed, taping off the lagoon and dyeing the water to trace its flow. Maureen's peace teas couldn't hide her panic. At the next HOA meeting, the board read the state's report: $180,000 in fines, fraud via fake companies, and utility sabotage. Maureen sat stone-faced as they voted unanimously to oust her. The lagoon was drained, leaving mud and shame. The HOA sued her for damages, and her insurance dropped her. Mold crept into her home, her car was sold, and her house sat unsold, tainted by her scandal. She vanished, some say, to her cousins in Ohio. I didn't stop at victory. My yard was regraded, and with county approval, I built a rain garden, native plants, permeable paths, and signs teaching kids about conservation. The county gave me a plaque, but the real reward was seeing kids plant flowers where Maureen's chaos once stood. My sign, tucked by a juniper, reads, "Let water flow, but never over your rights." This wasn't just about a pond. It was about power, arrogance, and what happens when a community says enough. Maureen thought she could bend the world to her will, but she forgot one thing: the truth doesn't sink. What do you think? Have you faced someone like Maureen, abusing power or causing chaos? Share your stories in the comments, especially your thoughts on entitlement and injustice. Where do you stand when the system fails or fights back? Let's talk.